When I first saw Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey, I was about 12 years old, and I really didn't understand it or enjoy it at all. It wasn't until over a decade later, after having watched the film 6 or 7 times throughout my teens and early 20s, that it finally clicked for me. It happened right here, at this specific cut from the ape to the monolith. Now, why is this single cut so important? Not only in the larger story of the film, but in what it teaches us about the effectiveness of visual storytelling. To answer that, let's look at the beginning of the Dawn of Man sequence. We see a mostly barren, quiet world where the apes are in constant threat of danger. They're fragile, reacting to, rather than shaping, the world around them. When the monolith first appears, it is terrifying to the apes, as it should be, because it is unlike anything else they've ever experienced. Theirs is a world of rock and dust and caves and creatures. It is the uncultivated expanse of the natural world. The monolith, with its sharp angles and foreboding geometric perfection, inherently reveals an intelligent design that isn't visible anywhere else on Earth at this time. Intentionality defines the monolith. This juxtaposition of the natural world with a decidedly unnatural creation allows audiences to infer what this object might be and where it might come from. The eerie, moaning musical score enhances the sense that this object is not only otherworldly, but, for primitive creatures like us, nothing short of divine. Kubrick's clever editing and cinematography doesn't leave us in the dark guessing at what's really going on here, though. If we just pay attention to this literal image, the narrative reveals itself. In this single frame, looking up from the base of the monolith, from the perspective of the apes below, we see where this object literally comes from. There is the moon, the sun, the sky, in perfect alignment with the monolith. The image makes it explicitly clear the monolith is from outer space. One could even argue that the monolith came directly from the moon, given that the object is rediscovered there later on in the film, and that it's pointed toward the moon in this shot. So now that we've met the monolith, and it disappears as mysteriously as it appeared, the apes return to regular life, rummaging around, gathering food. But to understand what's about to happen next, we must keep in mind every image we just absorbed during the monolith sequence, a simple, geometric shape that inherently suggests the arrival of a superior intelligence. The apes making physical contact with that object, and then seeing exactly where it comes from, outer space. These images all combine with this bone-breaking sequence to wordlessly tell a complete and fascinating story. In this specific moment, when the ape's head twists quizzically, Kubrick is showing us the first inspiration, or the first idea. What is an idea? What is inspiration and innovation? In its simplest form, a new idea is seeing something familiar in a completely different way, and in so doing unlocking a previously untapped power. The idea this ape has in this moment is that a bone is not just a bone. It's a tool. It's a weapon. It's technology. In Kubrick's world, evolution is a violent process wherein something has to die for something else to advance. This life-death duality runs throughout the entire film, but it's first embodied in the bone. Technology is born, literally in the remains of a dead animal, and then it's used to kill other animals. But how did the ape get this idea? What inspired him to see the bone and thus the entire world in this way? The answer for why this is so significant and how the ape got this idea is contained in this specific cut, the cut that forever changed the way I understood this film and the power of visual storytelling. It's so brief, yet so essential in making it clear that it is the monolith that has delivered this inspiration to this primitive creature. The ape, after making contact with the monolith, is no longer merely reacting to the world in a bid for survival. He's asserting his will upon that world, making it bend to his new purpose. That is the essence of technology. And this insight was delivered to him from the heavens, from a superior intelligence that has given him the spark he needed to propel the rest of humanity into the stars.